In this video, we will discover how a project management plan transforms scattered operational tasks into a single, bulletproof corporate blueprint. It is the ultimate nightmare for any project manager. You get handed a career-defining project, and you want to impress the executive board immediately by rushing straight into physical execution. You dive headfirst into signing contracts and deploying resources on site, and on the surface, everything looks exceptional. Your contractors are busy, your machinery is moving, and your daily updates are filled with rapid progress. But just as you prepare to celebrate your fast-track execution, a wave of uncoordinated design changes, conflicting vendor timelines, and sudden budget overruns completely destroys your momentum. This happens because many project managers treat project execution as a race against time, while ignoring the integrated baselines and governance structures needed to keep the entire system aligned. The project management plan is not just another boring piece of corporate paperwork or a bureaucratic hurdle. It is your ultimate key to project integration and your professional survival. Consider a luxury resort development, Coral Overwater Villas, a high-profile sustainable hospitality project within the Red Sea Sustainable Tourism Mega Resort in Saudi Arabia. To capture the premium eco-tourism market, the Regional Development Agency gives the go-ahead for a $85 million luxury expansion featuring 50 off-grid overwater villas, advanced solar desalination units, and marine-friendly modular foundations. They appoint an eager project manager to lead the rapid delivery of this high-stakes infrastructure. Wanting to impress the executive board with immediate progression, the project manager bypasses the formal integration of his project baselines and subsidiary frameworks, diving directly into vendor procurement. He swiftly orders the prefabricated modular villa units and mobilizes the marine installation fleets to the coast. However, because he rushed past the creation of an integrated project management plan, absolute disaster strikes during the mid-life cycle deployment phase. The structural engineering team alters the villa foundation specifications to meet strict marine conservation laws, completely unaware that the procurement vendor has already manufactured 50 units based on the initial draft drawings. Simultaneously, the digital systems team installs a complex off-grid energy management network that completely overloads the main regional power distribution node because the schedule parameters were never cross-referenced with the wider engineering team. Because there are no centralized change control workflows or unified configuration baselines, the project grinds to a chaotic standstill for 20 weeks during an intense legal dispute with the manufacturing vendor and a massive structural redesign. The development agency incurs $45,000 a day in idle marine contractor fees, and the $85 million budget is completely shattered. Instead of celebrating a breakthrough, the junior project manager faces intense scrutiny from furious executives who openly question his ability to manage complex mega-resort infrastructure. This is a dangerous and stressful position for any project manager to find themselves in. If you have ever looked at project management plan integration, baseline tracking, and governance frameworks and felt completely overwhelmed, I want you to stop and take a breath. I have been in those exact same shoes. It is easy to look at these massive meta frameworks and see them as administrative distractions that slow down real work on the ground. But the truth is, the project management plan is there to protect you and the business. It is your ultimate professional tool to manage projects effectively and protect your reputation. Let us break down how a robust project management plan works using three critical pillars. First, we have the performance measurement baselines, which form the integrated triple constraint against which actual delivery performance is objectively measured. This comprises of the scope baseline, the schedule baseline, and the cost baseline. The scope baseline architecture requires the project scope statement, the work breakdown structure, and the work breakdown structure dictionary to eliminate scope creep. The schedule baseline shows when each activity, work package, and project phase will be executed, and through the critical path shows which activities are critical toward ensuring the integrity of the agreed project completion date. At the Coral Horizon project, the lack of a verified work breakdown structure dictionary meant that the structural engineers and the procurement vendors were working off entirely different metadata, causing the manufacturing misalignment. The cost baseline maps out your time-phased budget as an S-curve, including contingency reserves but excluding management reserves. By locking these down early, you establish the financial anchors required to measure variance objectively using earned value management tools. Next up are the subsidiary management frameworks, which dictate the specific operational protocols for distinct parameters like scope, schedule, quality, and risk. For example, the schedule management plan defines the methodology and variance thresholds, while the quality management plan identifies the regulatory standards and acceptance checklists. In our mega resort scenario, the project manager completely skipped the cross-functional touchpoints within these subsidiary frameworks, allowing the digital systems team to deploy an energy network that violated the hard capacity constraints of the regional power grid. Finally, a mature plan secures configuration and baseline integrity through a strict change management plan and a configuration management plan. The change management plan specifies the constitution of the change control board, ensuring that no baseline alteration occurs without a formal evaluation and approved workflow. The configuration management plan guarantees that the project team is continuously working from the correct, certified version of product specifications. Our project manager completely ignored this, causing a silent documentation mismatch to explode into a catastrophic live issue that crippled the entire layout. Now, let's replay the same scenario, but this time, the project manager starts off differently. Before signing a single vendor contract or mobilizing a marine fleet, the project manager spends the initial phases of the life cycle consolidating a comprehensive project management plan. He works closely with the structural engineers, procurement partners, and environmental regulators to fully integrate the scope, schedule, and cost baselines into a unified performance measurement framework. He establishes a formal change control board and outlines clear configuration management protocols to ensure any technical design change is automatically communicated across all delivery streams. A few months into execution, when the engineering team identifies the need to alter the villa foundations for marine conservation, the transition is completely different. The modification is routed through the formal change control workflow. The procurement contracts are proactively adjusted before manufacturing begins, and the digital system schedule is dynamically realigned to match the infrastructure capacity. Physical installation finishes without a single day of contractual delay, saving the development agency millions of dollars in idle contractor fees and completely protecting the capital investment. Senior executives take notice. The project manager is praised not just as a functional executor who tracks daily tasks, but as a competent, strategic leader who secures operational success, aligns the project team, and drives real corporate value. Here is the most important takeaway from this video. A project management plan is never just a piece of administrative paperwork. It is your ultimate active operational system that protects capital investment, ensures cross-functional alignment, and guarantees the structured realization of strategic organizational benefits.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel to ensure you never miss our weekly strategies.
Thank you for watching. Controlling your master plan is just the beginning. Click the video on your screen right now to see how managing unverified project vulnerabilities through an assumption log can save your project from sudden disaster.